What's up, dogs? It's Nyctopluvo, and we're back again with the Nyctopluvo podcast. This is probably going to be episode number 3, and joining me today is my good friend and future brother-in-law, Gregory.
Hi, it's good to be here.
Me and Greg have known each other for a while, and as I said in previous podcasts, I want to start every podcast with every guest's first time. I kind of want to just throw it to them and ask them, where did you start with gaming, Greg? What consoles did you first play? What games?
Well,
where did you go from there?
My first consoles that I had, I think, were hand-me-downs from my uncle, and he gave me a Sega Genesis and Nintendo 64, and I was playing. I don't know. I guess I couldn't wrap my brain around figuring out how to use the N64. I was super little. I don't know if I was in elementary school yet. I think I maybe was, but I definitely loved the Sega, and I played lots of Sonic.
Of course.
Played some Mortal Kombat, which didn't play that when my mom was maybe watching me, but my uncle was like, "Yeah, you can play it."
Yeah, we the last podcast I did, we talked about playing games that maybe we shouldn't have.
Yeah.
It was me and Anthony, and we talked a lot about not playing certain parts of the games when people are around. Like I said, in Time Splitters, there was this part where in order to unlock Quasimodo, you had to break a bunch of church windows in this challenge mode. And my family, so I was like, I can't be breaking church windows,
Not when anyone's watching, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I think back before GameStop was GameStop, and before it was EB Games, it was Funkoland, and I think I got my first PlayStation, the first one there, and that was my first personal system, and definitely played Spyro the Dragon.
You excited all for the new remaster?
I am the Reignited trilogy, I think it's called. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be playing that.
I'm definitely gonna pre-order it, and then I'm gonna get I'm probably not going to play much of the first game because I didn't play a lot of that as a kid. I really liked Ripto's Rage and then Year of the Dragon because it feels like they really stepped up the gameplay from 1 to 2, and then 2 was what I was used to. So going back to 1, it just felt really weird.
Yeah. I think when I was playing 1, I was still very little to where. When I wasn't even playing the game, I was running around outside in the yard pretending I was Spyro. Running up to green dragons, talking to myself, of course, as well. And people are probably driving by what the heck is wrong with this kid? But I lived Spyro. I didn't just play it, I lived it. I was the dragon.
I don't remember living it as much, but I do remember one time I was playing Spyro, and my mom's like, "Hey, you want this Spyro mac and cheese?" I was like, "They make Spyro mac and cheese, SpongeBob mac and cheese and all that? That's crazy." And I got super excited. And then I realized it was just
spiral.
Yeah, just the shapes. I still enjoyed my mac and cheese, but I was like, damn, I thought they were going to be little dragon-shaped heads. And
that would have been dope.
Some of the characters from it.
Such a horrible missed collaboration.
Yeah. So you played Spyro on the PS1.
Yeah, PS1. I think even though the PS1 was mine, my uncle had one as well, who was the one who got me into games, and so I was still playing a lot of his games. I had what was it, Army Men 3D, where you actually play as plastic Army Men soldiers. That was
I see that game a lot at game stores. Is that any good?
I think I played the first one, and that one was really good. And then they started making weird ones where you were in a room, a kid's room or something. I don't know. It was one of those games where it was the sequels just got worse. In my opinion, I don't know. Some people may like them, but I only liked the first one. Maybe I didn't appreciate what they were since I was young. And I think I had Star Wars Demolition, which was almost and I had Twisted Metal, but Star Wars Demolition is Twisted Metal, but all Star Wars vehicles. That was cool. But that was it. I really only had 6 games. And then finally, when I was older and the PS2 came out, my dad surprised me with that, and that's when I started that's when I had a large game library, and I was playing all the
I feel like that's
games.
A good time where everybody got super into it.
Yeah,
You
because
know?
at that point, like a lot of my friends had it too in school, so we were talking about it, borrowing games from people.
Well, I mean,
started
you're
happening.
older than I am, so like, what age were you
So,
when that was going on?
I
mean, I
so I'm
could
horrible with
probably-
ages, but what I use is grade. I have a grade system, so like
Okay.
I was probably
That's fine.
I was probably in like second and third grade, because I remember people like this one kid would bring in his strategy guides to school and try to like read up. And then I remember at one time the teacher was just so done with this kid bringing in video game strategy guides that she just grabbed it and threw it in the garbage.
Oh, that's so
It was.
disrespectful.
I'm like, whoa, like just take it away.
Like what games, like strategy guides, was he
I'm
bringing
pretty
in?
sure. Well, the one I remember that was thrown away was I think to 007 Nightfire,
Oh,
because him and I played that a lot.
dude, that game's really fun.
It was.
I think that's the. I always get it confused. It's either that or Double Agent. Is Double Agent?
Double
No,
Agent was
Agent
also
Under
fun.
Fire.
Or yeah, that one.
Agent Under Fire.
I had both of those.
I don't know which one it is. They're both very similar in
Yeah.
gameplay wise, but one of them had like a grappling hook.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember me and my friend Mark had a whole night where we were playing the verses and we were just like grappling hooking across the map.
Yeah.
And it was like really fun.
Yeah, there's a grappling hook in each of them. Though you could cheese it in Agent Under Fire, because if you use the grappling hook and you hold down the like grappling hook button still, you'll just stay there. So we would just basically be like Spider-Man.
That
right?
was the
Yeah.
one we were doing that one. We were just like grappling hooking on walls and
Yeah.
Spider-Manning and stuff.
I think we would change it to where we like everyone had rocket launchers and grappling hooks, and it was just like people flying around shooting rockets everywhere.
Yeah, I remember like one map specifically, you could get on like a bunch of the rooftops, so we'd get on the roofs, and I think there's a water tower as well, and we'd like hang off of that and just shoot at each other.
Yeah.
It was super intense. So you said like third grade?
Yeah, that was when I was like getting into it in the beginning stages, and then from there all through the rest of my elementary years, I was playing more games, and then I feel like the games I was playing was probably like more. Well, it's funny that I say more for kids because I still like love them though. Like I was playing lots of Ratchet and Clank and Jack and Dexter. Now to this day, I still play a new Ratchet and Clank game when it comes out, but that's maybe probably for the nostalgic feel. And they're a good series. I wish they'd make a new Jack game. But then as I got older, then like my friend showed me Kingdom Hearts, and I was like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever made. And I started playing a ton of that, and you know, I just started getting like, then I was getting like shooters and stuff. So,
You know, the games everybody was getting.
Yeah, basically.
It seemed like with the whole PS2 era, like GameCube and Xbox, it seemed like there was popular games, but then like the Xbox, there was like games literally every kid in school had, you know? Like,
Yeah.
if somebody had a PlayStation 3 or an Xbox 360, you knew they had one of the Call of Duty games.
Yeah, or definitely Halo.
Yeah, no, the Halo.
Which was funny. I didn't even like so yeah, I was a Sony basically exclusive. I mean, it's like I didn't have enough money to buy consoles for myself, and I didn't really like see enough advertising to even really know about the other consoles as a kid either. And the friends that I did, it probably would have been most dependent on what my friends had, which they had PlayStation.
Yeah, it's kind of the same way for me, because like at first it was just like I started off with an N64 and then I also got a PlayStation, but I feel like all the games I really liked were on the N64 and I barely had any PlayStation games. Like the only games I remember like really enjoying was like Spyro the Dragon, and everything else was like okay. Like there was Worms World Party, which I never really understood how to play. Like I didn't understand it was turn-based, so I constantly thought I was watching a demo. And then every now and again I was able to move, and I was like, what's going on here? I don't understand this. And then the only other games I think I had was like I had like a couple movie-related titles. Like I had Bugs Life. I think I might have had Tarzan.
So
I had
how
this,
old were you when you were getting those?
I was like really young.
Right.
Like I got those like kind of like more when like the PS2 and like GameCube were like kind of starting to become a thing. I would say.
Like were they in like the middle of their like lifespan of the like? Is that when you like? Did you get a PS2 like right when it came out, or did you get it after it had been out a couple of years?
I didn't get the PS2. Timmy did, but I got
okay.
like I remember I got my GameCube. I think it was like second grade, but I felt like I don't know what year that was, but I felt like I was like a little bit late to the party. But yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, yeah, getting lots of games, had tons of games. And if we're going further with it, you know, I just stuck with PlayStation. Although, no, yeah, that's right. When the next wave of consoles came out, which was the 360 and then the PS3, I was subscribed to the Game Informer magazine, and I was seeing all this stuff about Gears of War, and I was like, this game looks amazing. And there's people, this was now like 6th grade, and this one kid already had an Xbox, and he was like, oh yeah, the game's like so great, it's the best game ever made. And I was like, need to get one. And we were in the local Blockbuster that was still around then, and there was I think it was a pre-owned one. There's like, they had a little game station for a while where you could like buy and sell stuff, like GameStop was doing. And I'm pretty sure I used my own like Christmas money and birthday money, and I bought that. Actually, I bought that before I got my PS3, because I'm kind of like a Sony guy. But I got that first. I did get a PS3 later down the road, I think actually from Blockbuster as well, and it was like one of the first ones that came out that played the PS2 game still. So that was like the next gen. I had both of those, and I've loved all the Gears games, and tons of PS3 games that I played. And later on, once they were showing off the Xbox One and the PS4, I was definitely one of those people that was leaning more towards the PS4, and that's what I've had now.
I mean, I have both of them, and I would say I lean more towards the PS4, because I feel like the PS4 it's more like smooth than like the 360, the one, because I've noticed a lot of problems with like things on the one, like for example, how you can do like the little 30-second game clips on the Xbox.
I don't know, but I believe you.
Like, you can do that, but for some reason there's like this whole hub area where you could watch your friends' game clips, but for some reason it's like so incredibly shitty. Like, it can't load a 30-second clip, and it's like, I kind of understand if I'm watching like my friend's clip, but if I made a clip and it's struggling to it's like buffering to show me my own clip,
right,
that it seems like that's a big problem. And then I've also noticed like a lot of like issues when you're like in parties where like people will like lag out more frequently than I've ever noticed in like on the PS4. And the Xbox has changed their dashboard like a million fucking times.
Yeah,
I don't think the PS4 has changed very much.
No,
I mean, you've had one longer than I have.
Yeah, from when the PS4 came out, I'm pretty sure the dashboard's been the same forever.
And it's like super smooth. It's like kind of easy to understand.
Yeah.
But like the Xbox is like, as soon as it seems, they haven't done it in a while, but it seems like as soon as you got used to one setup, it's like, all right, well now we're changing it to this, and it's like, why? Why'd you do that?
Yeah. Bringing it back really quick too, because I was trying to think if I covered everything on my systems. As far as handhelds go, I had the Game Boy Color very, very early as well. That was probably before I got my PlayStation. Yeah, because I know for sure I wasn't in school yet. Okay, so I get this. It was a Pokemon themed Christmas, because obviously I was super into Pokemon. And I got a yellow Game Boy Color. I got Pokemon Yellow. I got a Pikachu themed carrying case, and they bought me like 2 whole booster boxes of trading cards. So yeah, it was just a Pokemon Christmas. It was the best Christmas ever. Here's the thing. This was before I was ever even in kindergarten, and I had no idea what saving was. Because for the games I had, at least, for Sega,
they kind of just saved their own.
Yeah, well, like I said, I played a lot of Sonic, and there's no saving. Like,
Didn't you play a lot of Mega Man as well?
No, I never played. I didn't play Mega Man at all.
Because you always use like Mega Man as like your picture on like PlayStation.
Yeah.
So I figured you probably played a lot of Mega Man.
No, the first one I played was 9, which was 8-bit themed still, and it came out for PS3, and then they came out with 10, which was still 8-bit themed for the PS3, and I loved those. And then I went back and played them, because what were they even for? Like, what were they on originally? Like the 1 and through,
I don't know which one specifically, but I know the NES and the SNES housed like the majority of them, and I believe the Genesis also got a couple of them as well.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I feel like when you're that young, basically if an adult has to like go into a store and be like, hey, what do you think my kid will like? And they're like, oh, well, this game's really popular right now, which my parents never did that. So basically, whatever my uncle liked, which is, as I keep saying, the one who got me into it, whatever he liked was basically what I played. And he never had that, so I never even knew it existed.
Yeah, like when you're like super young, you just play whatever you're given.
Yeah,
really.
pretty much. So.
Like I didn't really have much choice of like picking games. Like sometimes I'd go to like a garage sale or a GameStop, and like I'd look at a game and be like, oh, that looks cool. And then if it was E-rated, of course, my parents would buy it.
Yeah.
But like other than that, I was just playing games like that like were bought for me. Like me, Laura, and Kelly, my sisters, of course, Greg knows them. Greg's gonna marry Kelly, so I hope he knows her.
I think. Wait, she's the one. What color's her hair again? Yeah, it's blonde.
But anyway, like my mom, I think they told her about like the N64. So she got us one for Christmas, and we got like Mario Party 3, Mario Kart 64, and like Kirby.
Yeah.
And I feel like we only got the Mario games because those were probably suggested to her. But I remember she said she got Kirby because he was like so cute looking.
Oh,
so
wow.
that's why
Who
Kirby's
said that?
my mom.
Oh, she thought Kirby was cute?
I mean, he is a cute little fucker.
I mean, he is. Yeah. So saving, right? Okay, saving. So. No idea what that is. What's save? I don't know. Don't ask me. So I'm playing Pokemon Yellow, right? I don't even think I would get to like Brock, like the first gym leader. And sure enough, they'd be like, Greg, time for dinner. And I'm like, okay. So I turn it off. And then like I go eat. And then I'm like, okay, well, time to play Pokemon again. Turn it on. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess I gotta start over. Maybe get to the first town again. Greg, time to go to bed. Okay, turn it off. I had no idea, right? I started getting so upset to where they were like, time for dinner, and I'm like, no, I don't want to eat. I need to play this game. I don't want to start over again.
So you weren't one of those kids that were like, well, I can't save, so I guess I'll just leave it on?
That's pretty smart thinking. I never thought of that.
I don't remember specifically if there was any games like that I did when I was a kid, because like in the last podcast, me and Anthony talked a little bit about like the N64, and a lot of the games on there, like at least the ones I had as a kid, you didn't need to save because they automatically did. But there's a couple on there where you need to get like a game pack to save. And like I think the only ones I ever played that were like that were games I rented. Like I remember I played Scooby-Doo as a kid, like one of the Scooby-Doo games on there, and you needed a thing to save. But I rented the game, so I didn't give a shit. Yeah. And I think like I had one other game that wouldn't let you save, but I wasn't super into that game. I think it was like something where you like parachuted through hoops and stuff, and it wasn't super entertaining.
Mm-hmm. So it's dinner time. I'm pissed. And my uncle sees me raging, and he's like, Greg, you can just save, right? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. That's not a thing. Like, I can't save. Okay, I have to start over. He's like, no, for real. I'm sure you could save. Like, there's no way you can't. And I don't even think I've ever even heard that word before, right? I'm like, what does that mean? So I just told him no, and I turned it off. Ate dinner, go back up to my room, start playing it again, and I'm like, all right, well, let me just see what this guy's talking about. Like, I think I hit the start button, and I'm just like, oh, what is this? Is this save? Is this how you spell save? S-A-V-E? Okay, oh, wow, you can save. And it was a miracle. And so that was the first time I'd ever encountered having to save. And the other traumatizing experience I had was the first time, I had no idea what a TM was.
Trademark?
No, like the move that you teach your Pokemon. So like you get these things called TMs, and it's like it just has a number. And I don't even know if in Yellow it even told you what it was. Maybe after you like tried to use it, it would say, oh, do you want to teach them this move? But before you try, it's just literally like TM 20. And I'm like, okay, well, what does that mean? So I'm like, okay, I have a ton of these. Let me try and teach a TM to my like I don't know, forget, it was like a Charmeleon or a Charizard that I had. And I'm like, it goes, oh, do you want to teach it? I don't know, it was some like bullshit move that you would never want to teach a Charizard. And so I'm like, it just gives you yes or no options. So it goes, do you want to teach Charizard, you know, I don't know, random move, let's just say like Swift or some shit. And I'm just like, no, I don't. And then they go, instead of just ending it there, they go, oh, are you sure you don't want to teach it Swift? But I wasn't like reading it. I was just panicking. And it basically just gave me a yes or no option again. And I don't want to teach it to it. So I hit no. And then it's like, oh, so you do want to teach it to it? Yes, no. And I'm just like, I just keep hitting no. And I got caught in this endless cycle because I wasn't like reading into it. I probably didn't even know what the heck they were really saying because I probably can barely read. But they're like, do you want to teach it to it? Yes or no? Are you sure you want to teach it to it? Right? To where you're supposed to hit yes, but I just kept hitting no. After doing this for about like 10 minutes and legit starting to cry, I just turned it off. And I don't remember the last time I saved. I think it was a while that I had to like redo all that because I was caught in a vicious yes or no cycle that I never entered again until I got older and played like, it was like, I forget what the next, probably like silver or something. And I was like, oh, okay. I can actually read now. So I know they want me to hit yes. It was terrifying.
I don't remember if there was any specific instance where I was like, oh, saving's a thing, but I do remember on like the PS1, there was a couple games where like, I don't know if I didn't have a memory card or I didn't have like, my memory card was full. I remember this specific game. It was this racing game. It was called like Thunder or something. No. It was called no, I think it was called Thunder. But anyway, it was like this street racing game, and me and Timmy got really into it. And we figured out to unlock cars in maps, you had to like drive, you had to look around for like secret areas, and there was like parts you could pick up. And then like each cup, you pick up like a part in each level, and then you build a car. And I remember like we found that out. So like we'd look for them. And then, like, since we didn't have the memory card, we'd just, like, leave the console on for the next time we wanted to play.
Yeah. Dang.
Like, I remember, like, this one level specifically, it was like a downtown area level. And I remember, for some reason, if you go off, like, there was this area where there was, like, you're supposed to turn to the left, but on the right side there's some cones blocking off this other part of this like tunnel you're in, and if you bust through the cones and like drive that way, you go up like a ramp and then like go straight through like a building, like you break through the window and drive through like this office building and then back down on a ramp back onto like a freeway thing. And I remember that level, that was the first one where we found out you could find the parts. And like really subtly, like when you're going towards the finish line, it's like super close to the finish line, there's like this little alley that opens up, and then there's like a little part, and then I think the cup that race was in, I think the car you built was like an old-timey looking car. Didn't look super great, but we still thought it was pretty baller. And I remember we just like left the console on so we didn't lose that progress, and then every time somebody turned it off, we had to redo that to get our cars back.
Can't believe they have no respect.
Yeah, but I don't think there was like any game where like I found out what saving was. I think the first game I played that you manually had to save was Luigi's Mansion, because you had to like walk up to the Toads and ask them to save.
But games like teach you to save typically.
Well, yeah,
they're like, oh, you need to go here. Like your first save is usually part of the tutorial, kind of, or at least like where you need to go to save. Like because I'm thinking like stuff like Spyro. You know, there were certain platforms you had to stand on.
Well, I think you can manually save in Spyro, but at the same time, if you go into a level, it saves automatically.
Well, yeah, that's true.
And if you walk past Zoe, her name I think was, the fairy, she zaps you, and that saves. That's true. It creates a checkpoint. Yeah. You never manually have to save, because they're saving so much. And I think that was the only game I know that you could manually save, but I never did it. Like, I used to play like Mario Kart, I said, and like Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards, Mario Party. I don't remember if any of those games you manually had to save. I think you might have in Kirby. It's been a while since I played. But like the only other games I had on like my N64 that I remember was like Diddy Kong Racing as well, and you didn't have to really save in that. It kind of just did it for you. What else did I have in my N64? I remember I had this Powerpuff Girl game. I think that was another controller pack saving one, but it also had that thing Mega Man has where it will give you a code and you can type in and it will bring you to like a certain save.
Oh yeah.
But I wasn't super into that game. I replayed that game recently and it's kind of bad.
Yeah.
It's a fighting game, but like if you want to win, you have to spam a certain attack. Like if you try to use combination of attacks, you just won't do well.
Yeah.
So you're better off just spamming this one attack. Like I was playing with Demi and I was like, at first I was trying to like play the game like you would play a fighting game. You wouldn't spam the same attack over and over.
Yeah.
And then we found out early on that if you want to beat the NPCs, you just got to spam this one attack.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you'll just get your ass beat and your toes sucked. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, dude. Exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. So you said you started with. Well, the first console you got that was your own was the PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
But before that, you played the Genesis?
Yeah, the Genesis.
It
like I said,
really
I had
yours.
the Genesis and the N64. But, yeah, they weren't mine. My uncle was, letting me borrow them. I think at that time, he basically let me use those, and he had the PS1. But I didn't get mine until, way later. And they were pretty much his kind of, hand-me-downs. He'd still play them occasionally, too, or play them with me. But for some reason, I don't know what it was, I just was drawn towards the Sega more. I think it might have been partially because his N64 was kind of beat up, and half the time I try to play the games, it wouldn't work. Even when I was blowing in the cartridges and whatnot, like you do.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work. But the Sega would always work for me. And he had more games for it. I was always playing the X-Men games, and he had Ninja Turtles and stuff. Just way more games that I liked.
You have Turtles in Time? Was that on the Genesis? I don't know.
No, I don't think that's the one it was. I'm trying to think of what he even had for the N64. It was only I feel like, or at least the
probably
games he let
Mario
me have.
64.
That's the thing is there wasn't a single Mario game. He had some really weird.
Turok maybe.
No, I didn't play Turok until PS1. He had that and some game called Dino Crisis.
Oh. That's like a survival horror.
That one's
dinosaurs.
it's basically like Resident Evil with those tank controls.
I think it's made by Konami as well. I actually have that one. I haven't
was
played.
Was it Capcom? Or what did you say it was?
Konami.
Okay.
I think it might have been. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah. So he was the one who introduced me to the Resident Evil series and Devil May Cry and stuff, and I played those games later. Respective systems that they were on. Yeah, I think the games that he had for the Sega were just more oriented to the age I was.
Yeah.
But no, surprisingly, he didn't have the real popular games for the Nintendo. Maybe he didn't even like it himself. I don't know.
Yeah. So, while you were on this podcast, I thought we might reminisce a little bit about when we played Terraria and Don't Starve, because those games are super fun. And we played those a lot when I first got my PlayStation. And I was thinking, at some point, I've been thinking this for a while. I haven't thought about it recently, but I wanted to do a replay of Don't Starve on my YouTube channel with you. But yeah, when I first got my PlayStation 4, I got my PlayStation 4 for a couple reasons. There's a couple games I wanted to play that weren't on the Xbox. I wanted to play games with Greg, and my brother was on there. And then a couple of Greg's friends that I know pretty decently well. Yeah, we used to work at Pizza Hut, so I got kind of close to Greg and some of his friends that got him the job there, or he got them the job there.
I think Dan, got everybody in. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, but so when I got my PS4, I think I got the Uncharted collection. I got Uncharted 4 with it, and then I bought the Uncharted collection, and I bought The Last of Us remastered. All the staple PlayStation games that you would get, because you can't buy them anywhere else.
Yeah,
and I remember there was a sale for Terraria, and I love Terraria. I played it a little bit with some of my other friends, and like I had a really good time. And it's just like it's like Minecraft, but it's like it's less focused on building and more focused on adventures. Like there's boss battles and everything.
Yeah.
And so like there was a flash sale or something on that, so I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna buy this. Greg, buy this game too, you'd love it. And like Dan, our other Pizza Hut friend, that he said got them the job there, he's also super into the game as well. He didn't play it a lot with us. He like popped in from time to time, because I think he was like busy with something else. He's a busy man.
Very busy.
But so like me and Greg got super into that, and it's just like really fun. Like it's like in Terraria, you just kind of like, it's kind of like you like fight bosses and then get items from the boss to build like better weapons and stuff, and you mine ores to get better weapons, and like kind of like work your way up to like fighting harder bosses.
Yeah, basically you use the materials for the boss that you can beat to beat the next one. And then you get their materials and you beat the next one, and go on and so on and so forth. And it gets into like, hardcore mode where like your whole world changes, and dang, then it gets real hard.
Yeah, like I forget. You have to beat the wall of flesh, which is like at the very bottom of the map, and he's like the hardest easy mode boss. Like they call it easy mode and hardcore mode, and you graduate to hardcore mode once you beat the wall of flesh. And basically what you had to do to summon him is we'd had to find like a voodoo doll of like the guide, because like you get these NPCs in the game that if you like build a house and you make rooms in the house that like fit a certain criteria, like they have to have a door, a table, a chair, or something like that.
Chair, baby.
And then like people will move in, but the first, like when you first start the game, you get a guide and he tells you, like you can come up to him with any item and be like, hey, what do I do with this, and he'll tell you. But anyway, so somewhere along the way, I think in like this dungeon, you get like a voodoo doll of him, and if you drop that into the lava, like the very bottom of the map in hell, it spawns the wall of flesh, who's just like literally this wall of flesh, of course.
Literally.
And you have to like fight him, and it's super hard because like unless you build a whole lot down there's like a lot of lava and there's nowhere really to stand, and he like kind of like goes, so he starts from one end of the map and kind of just keeps pushing you over and over. And like once you beat him, you graduate to like hardcore mode. And I remember hardcore modes when it just got like, it got too intense for us, because in the game there are these you get one or the other for every world you make. You either get like
the crimson,
or the hollow. I'm not sure if the crimson and the hollow are the same thing. No, it's the crimson and the corruption.
Yeah.
So the crimson,
purple,
so the corruption's like a purple, like little like land, like a biome thing, and it's it's like it's got tough enemies, and then crimson is like the same deal. It's like the crimson, I would say, has like more of a fleshy theme.
Yeah, it does.
Like the monsters are like these flesh walker looking things, and they look kind of gross. But anyway, so like when you graduate to hardcore mode, these biomes begin to be like toxic and they spread. So me and Greg decided that we would build our like little castle base right in this little snowy biome that was fairly close to the crimson.
Yeah.
And so basically the way the spread works is if it's like a block of the crimson is touching another block, it can infect it.
Yeah.
And basically we tried to like fight it back by like creating a hole, like 2 holes on the side of our castle that went all the way down to the bottom of the earth. I think they were like 5 by 5.
Yeah, I think it won't jump farther than 5, so you want to do like 6. And we literally like dug a trench around our house, so like each side and then below it. So you do that, like you want to do that before you go into hardcore mode. But then like the thing is as soon as you enter hardcore mode, it randomly like puts a bunch of it in your world. So you just have to hope that it doesn't put it anywhere past
I forgot about that.
And I think we lucked out because like we dug.
No, we didn't luck out, remember? We got infected real hard, and everyone in our house died.
Wasn't that okay? I'm thinking because that was one world, right? Did we make
that?
Two?
That was the one where we had the snowy castle. And we had like a bunch of people. We had like 5 floors. Like with like
Yeah, because we were
4 rooms
constantly having
each.
people. Yeah, we basically were like screw doors, and on the bottom floor we had to like just put walls up because there's certain
we
NPCs
had
that can go
doors.
through the doors.
Yeah,
They were
there
like
was
ghosts.
there was some enemy that could just go like no, that's at a certain point like zombies I think it was could
Yeah.
just like knock open your door, like they wouldn't break it down but they'd open it, so like they could just walk straight in. So we put like dirt around the door to
Yeah.
prevent them from walking in.
They were killing
like,
all our NPCs.
Like all of our NPCs died except for like 3 people I think. And then like the hardcore mode just like it steps everything up and it just feels like constantly like every time we upgrade it felt like barely an upgrade, like we upgraded like 0.2%.
Yeah.
And then you remember the fucking turtles?
Oh yeah, the freaking spinning
like
turtles.
we went to like the jungle to like try to find this one boss called Terra, and it's like it's inside this this little underground like dungeon, and like you have to get a certain key or something to open, and we found it, but we were looking around the jungle to see if we could find the key for it to open it up, because like the dungeon blocks you can't break them with like your pickaxes and stuff, like it's designed well so you can't just break in, so you can't get in without the key, like you physically can't. And we wanted to like fight Plantera because I think they dropped some item that would let us build like armor or something that would help us not die as much.
Yeah, basically.
But then when we were in the jungle, like there were these like little turtle tortoises things, and what they did basically is they'd go inside their shell and they'd spin up and they'd fly across the map at you. And like I remember we both had our grappling hooks, and I don't remember if you had the one I had. I had this one where it was like this like
One where it could
viney
shoot
thing.
Different directions.
Yeah, it was this viney one. It was
Yeah.
4 different grappling hooks. So basically, I could like shoot a grappling hook at one like corner, one at the other corner, and then kind of just like hover in midair.
Yeah.
And it was like super helpful in like caves and stuff. I remember I'd be like in midair and like trying to like avoid these turtles, and like turtles would just fly out off screen and like fuck me up. It
Yeah, I
was
mean, for the
super
most
obnoxious.
part, you can look at an enemy and be like, oh, okay, so there's a zombie right there. I think I got a pretty good idea of what he's going to do. He's going to walk at me, and he's going to try to hit me. Oh, a bat. Okay, it's going to fly at me. Oh, a spider. It can probably crawl on walls and hit me from anywhere. Oh, look, a turtle. Well, it's probably slow, but maybe it's like really tough. Oh, what's it doing? It's spinning. Now it's launching itself at me. What? Like, you could use context clues to like kind of figure out what an enemy's going to do to you, or like how it's going to attack you.
A lot of the enemies
Turtle?
for the most
Flying?
part are like
What?
just zombies, so you know. You
Yeah, I
can't
mean,
just
like-
expect them to walk at you.
Yeah, I mean, there's like things in the jungle biome. They're like these vine things, and they can like stretch out to like get you.
Oh, those were super
Yeah, those
obnoxious.
suck, too.
Like, and I think they went through like walls and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, they could go through
so
whatever.
like they were like I guess they were very viney. I think you can call them like piranha plants, kind of like from Mario. I guess kind of like that'd be the closest comparison I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they were like a plant, but like they would stretch themselves out like so far away,
Mm-hmm.
and like. They were just like super obnoxious to fight because you'd think you were safe because you'd see them like through like a couple walls or something. It's like, oh, they can't get me, and then they stretch through the wall and like freaking attack you.
Yeah, it's like pitch black. You can't see anything. You got like a couple
Yeah, like
torches,
from-
and then here comes this vine thing.
Yeah, just like out of the darkness, here comes this viney little arm and just reaches and just like punches you in the face.
Yeah.
And like they weren't like the worms or like the little snake enemies, because there was these like what was it mostly? Like I know there was the skeleton one, but I think that was mostly more towards like the hell part of the map at the bottom. But there was also these worms, and they were super obnoxious because like they'd come through the map and like attack you from anywhere. They just dig straight up.
Yeah.
They were super easy to kill though. Like you just like swing your sword a couple times while they were flying over you. But like these plant things were like that, but they were harder to kill. Like you had to hit them more times to kill them with like the
you have
weapons
to-
we had.
The worms, if you hit them anywhere, it like just shortens their body. And I think if you maybe hit them in the head, that'll insta kill them. But if you hit them in like the tail, then they become like shorter.
Oh, no,
but the
that's-
vines you had to hit from like the end, the point that's trying to bite you. Like you
Yeah.
had to hit that.
Like
if
you
hit
couldn't
the
fit-
vine, it doesn't
like
do
if a
anything.
vine was attacking you and you were like above me, I couldn't swing at like the
No, yeah, where it was,
viney arm to help you out.
yeah, that wouldn't do anything. That was annoying.
Yeah, and like honestly, like we kind of just stopped playing the game at like super hard and hardcore mode, but like the game was like really fun. It was just like a lot of like boss fights and stuff. Like and like I think Terraria and like Don't Starve a little bit, not as much as Terraria, is the kind of thing where like there's like so much going on in the game. Like you could have a lot of fun not even playing the game, like on Wikipedia looking up like recipes.
Yeah.
Like you'll go into like a wormhole of like, all right, I got this item. What can I do with it? And it's like, oh, you can make this sword. And then it's like, all right, cool, I'll make that sword. And then it's like, but in order to make the sword, you also need this item.
Yeah.
And in order to get that item, you need to beat this boss.
Yep,
So like it was a lot of
hole you go.
like between like sessions, me and Greg would look stuff up, and then we'd be like,
I've been
oh,
looking at it during a session. Be like,
Yeah,
yeah,
no, no.
Greg, what are you doing? You're just standing there. Oh, sorry, I'm just figuring out how to like get freaking scuba diving shoes. Like, so you're like, what?
yeah, like there's so much going on in the game. It was so much fun. Like during the game and like when you're not playing the game, you just look up stuff. And then like I remember like we'd like get online and it's like, well, Greg, we gotta fight this fucking Brain of Cthulhu guy because he
Yeah.
drops this item and I need it to make this sword.
Yeah.
So gotta do that. There's just like so many bosses, and then like we moved on to like Don't Starve, which is similar to Terraria, like gameplay wise. You know,
I mean, it's a survival game.
yeah, like in Don't Starve, like you don't really have as much effect on the world as you do in Terraria. Like you kind of just build yourself up a little campsite,
Yeah.
and you like hunt and you like harvest crops to make sure you don't starve. But like I don't know how to explain it. Like how would you explain like the art style of the game? Because it's like
I like to think of it as like almost like Tim Burton-y.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, no, that's a good way to describe it.
Coraline, or that movie looks a lot like it, or like Corpse Bride. Like it's like that weird. It's not like claymation in the game, but it just has that darker style of art almost.
yeah, so like there's all these weird different like creatures and stuff in it,
Yeah.
and it's like super creepy and interesting. And I remember like originally we played this mode where like it was like you get one life, and if you die you turn into a ghost, and you could still roam around the map. And like there was some ritual your friends could perform to bring you back, and it was like really cool. Like it was a little bit hard and obnoxious at points, but like I remember like, so like in Don't Starve you have like a couple meters. You have like your hunger, your sanity, and wasn't there a third one?
Well, it's just like health then.
Yeah, like
Your just
health,
vitality, basically.
health, hunger, and like sanity, I think. And basically, it's like if your sanity goes down, you can start seeing these shadow monsters. And if it goes down so low, these shadow monsters start to attack you.
Yeah.
And if like Greg has a super low sanity and mine's is fine, Greg will see these monsters and they're attacking him, and I can't do anything because I don't see these monsters. And even if I did, and my sanity isn't as low as Greg, I can't attack them because
Yeah, you can't attack them at all. You literally just have to run from. Even if my sanity is low, like I just have to run from them.
Oh, I thought you were able to attack them if your sanity was low enough.
No, I don't think so. Basically, you start to see them, and they're just kind of roaming around, and they don't do anything, but they're there. And then once it gets to the danger point, then they actually come for you. But basically, all three of your meters kill you. You know, if your sanity
Yeah,
goes
like-
down, you die. If your hunger goes down, you die. And obviously, if your health goes down, you die.
Yeah, and like I just remember like it was really weird. Like none of I don't know about you, but my sanity was never great enough for me to not at least be seeing these creatures.
Yeah.
Like I remember like we'd have our campfire going on at night, and like the hand comes out of like the darkness and like pinches your campfire. Do you remember that?
That's such a BS like thing. Like it's hard enough that you have to, you know, avoid the darkness. So it's like I have to, you know, harvest these materials and build a campfire, because in the game when it's night you have to be in light or else you die. And then even when it's night and you are in light, random shadow arms are trying to put out your fire, and you have to. Did you just have to like get in their way? I think you just have to block
Yeah, no,
their path,
no. If
and
you
they'll
stood
still
in their
there.
way, they'd like fuck off.
Yeah. So it's like in most games, like even in like Minecraft or something, or any game where it's like it's night and you need to be safe somewhere, okay, you just have you like if you're safe, you could like do other stuff. Like I remember I played this other survival game called like 7 Days to Die, and it's like a zombie game, and if you're outside at night, the zombies like multiply and they are like crazy fast and stuff. But if you're inside, you can like worry about your inventory. You can look up something like, oh, how do I build this? But even at night in Don't Starve, you have to be vigilant.
Yeah, because in Don't Starve, I don't think there's. You can build kind of shelter, but it's nowhere near like Terraria or Minecraft or something. Well, yeah, no, you could build the walls, like, and that was cool and all, but like, you could build tents, like, which would help you if you slept in them to like lower your sanity back down to normal. I think that was my main way of like lowering my sanity, is to build a tent. But like at night, like, you weren't safe. You'd be sitting at your campfire and like the shadow arm would come out of nowhere and try to pinch out your campfire to like turn out the lights. And like, it's like in Don't Starve, if you're in darkness, you get attacked. Like I don't think there's a specific creature ever that it shows, but you just get attacked by the darkness and your sanity lowers and everything. So you're not supposed to be in the darkness ever.
Yeah.
And then to make all that worse, do you remember the bloodhounds?
Yeah, they sucked.
So like every now and again, we'd have to like retreat and make a new campsite,
right.
because like
you'd hear them howl and they would just come at you.
Yeah, like these bloodhound things would come out, and they come out at night too, which is the worst.
Yeah.
Because unless you're prepared for it, like you're kind of just running off into the darkness, and like you can get like a torch and stuff, but you're still running off into the darkness, and your torch is still burning.
Yeah. That game
like,
really wants you to die.
I remember one time, like, we got separated. We were sitting at the campfire, and like they came, and I ran super far away, and I had to like start a whole new life by myself.
Yeah.
And like I like knew the general area where you were at, but like I needed to like get food so I didn't die on my way over there, because like I got chased off by like the hounds or whatever. And so like I remember like I was trying to make it over there. I had a lot of cool stuff. I was trying to make it back over to our area. Like we had like, I think like we had like chests and stuff to hold our items, and like fridges to keep our meat cold. Mm-hmm. It was a real nice setup.
Yeah.
And like I was so far away, and I remember like my sanity was lowering, and like I was getting attacked by shadow creatures, and I was like trying so hard to get back to the area, and then I eventually ended up dying. Mm-hmm. And then I remember like I respawned, because we were playing on the mode where you don't turn into a ghost, you just respawn. So like I remember I went on a hunt to find where I died at, and it took me like a couple days.
Yeah, to like find your stuff, you mean?
Yeah, like you can find your corpse and all your stuff.
Yeah, like all your stuff falls, and if you had a backpack, there'll be a bunch of stuff in it. But it's like, I kind of wish I would have played the game, like the base version of the game first, because like when we got it, I think it automatically came with like the Reign of Giants DLC, so it had the seasons.
No. The base game has the seasons.
Did it always have winter and summer though? I think maybe was it fall and spring that were new?
It always.
Or the Reign of Giants just added the 4 bosses that spawned in the seasons.
I don't think we ever were affected by the giants.
Well, I was for sure. Maybe it was a solo game I had.
Unless those one enemies were giants. Do you remember the ducks that like nested in our camp?
Yeah, because like, there's the one. It's like there's the one large duck, and then it lays eggs, or it's a duck. Goose. I think it's a goose duck or something like that. And
it's super hostile. It's like very terrible.
No, that was it was called a moose, and it was a moose mixed with a goose. And it would lay its eggs, and then that sounded weird, almost like a spider, like laying its eggs, but it did. It laid eggs. And then the babies would hatch and just storm our like camp.
Yeah, no, they laid eggs like all around our camp, and we strategically placed our camp. I mean, it wasn't a super great idea. We placed them near these pig people's like little area, and the pig people are weird because they're kind of like werewolf pigs. Like during the day they're fine, but like at night they turn into werewolves.
It was a full moon.
Yeah, and a full moon, so like it wasn't every night. And like the nice thing about them is if you kept a good relationship with them, and you like ran over to them for help, like if something was chasing you, they'd like help fight that thing.
Yeah.
And like even with them next to our base, like those ducks destroyed their whole entire town, and we had to re-migrate because they laid eggs all around our camp. And like I remember that whole game got ruined because I think it like went. I think that happened just after we got through a winter. Mm-hmm. So like it was spring when they came around, And then I remember we tried so hard to make a new campsite, but we kept trying to go back to get our stuff, but like they were surrounded over there.
Yeah.
So like basically we just like kind of like stopped with that world because it was like too much.
Dude, it's just even the things that you can find protection from in the game at some point will try to kill you, like the pigs. And it's like you don't even know, it's just randomly going to be a full moon, and then they're going to try to kill you. Or the other.
The nice thing about the full
creature,
moon though is the full moon, it's like lit everywhere, so you can't
yeah,
like
that's true. So
you can just walk around
at night.
freely like it's the day.
Or then you could try to make a camp near some beefalo, which will like kind of protect you when the hounds come, kind of, because they'll like take them out. But then at one point in the season, when the beefalo go in heat, they attack you. So like you, no matter where you find shelter from, eventually that thing will try to kill you too. Sometimes you're better off just nesting next to a bunch of spiders, because at least you know they're always trying to kill you, and they're not that hard to beat, and you get a lot of stuff from them.
Yeah, I remember the spiders being super creepy.
Oh yeah, because you can hear them from like, even when they're not even on your screen yet, you hear their like legs moving, and you're like, well shit, I guess I'm gonna have to fight something.
I remember for a while we were trapping spiders to try to get their silk.
Yeah.
Like you could build like the little, I think it was just like, what was it called? Like the little trap thing that was like a little basket with like a stick.
Yeah.
And you'd put something in it to lure, it was meant to lure rabbits. Like you put a carrot in there to lure a rabbit, and the rabbit would slowly wander in there, and then once it got in there, it'd close on them and you pick it up. But if you used it strategically, you get spiders into it. So basically you'd like lay it down, and then you'd like have a spider follow you, and you'd walk it to make it like its line of path go through that, and you pick it up.
Yeah.
And then like I don't remember what else you got from that. Like you got like their
spiders drop like their silk, and then they drop like their
gland.
Yeah.
And then
So
like
you can
monster meat.
Yeah, the monster meat and like the gland you can use to like make first aid with. And then I found out later on you can use that same basket technique to cheese like a bunch of, you can like, if a frog's coming at you, you can trap a frog. Or like with the rabbits, you can just put it over their hole that they retreat to every time they see you. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as they go back to it, it traps them.
But yeah, if you want to, it'd be fun to play that on the channel. So now I think would probably be a good time to move on to the whole Guess That Song segment. I got 5 songs for Greg here. He's going to pop these headphones on. Okay. And basically he's going to try his hardest. I didn't make them super hard. He's going to try his hardest to guess the names of these songs and then what they are from.
Oh, I have to guess the name of the song too.
Well, no, sorry. You have to. I want you to tell me what game they're from. Better yet, if you could tell me when the song plays, and if you know the name of the song, that's fantastic.
I'm not gonna know the name of the song, but I can maybe tell you from what part.
All right, so I don't have my reference sheet, so I don't know which song I'm gonna play first. So I'm just gonna go through all these. I don't know if this one's gonna be easy or hard, but we'll find out together.
Okay. Usually I have to let the song kick in.
Okay, so this song is from a game I know you've definitely played. I picked this one's a little bit harder because it's not a super common song that plays in the game. But I feel like this game has a style of music.
Okay. So like, do I get... I already have a guess.
What's your guess? Like the game or...
I'm guessing it's from Terraria.
It is from Terraria.
And I assume it's a song that plays at night. Or when you're in some sort of hostile environment.
Well, you're on the right track about the hostile environment. This song I picked because I was listening to a lot of Terraria songs. And I was like, well, me and Greg have both played a lot of Terraria, so I know Greg would know, like, for sure if I played, like, a cave one, you know, the... You know,
right.
Like, they're super easy. So this one, I'll give you a hint. This plays for an event.
Okay. Wait, is this a new song?
This is not a new song.
Oh.
No, nothing. We can move on.
Wait. Oh, do you want me to pick when this is the same song, right? You want me to guess when it happens?
If you can.
Oh,
if you want to take a while.
I just know that it's during some sort of maybe a boss fight, but I wouldn't know.
So that
which
song
one.
is the song that plays when the Goblin Army attacks, which actually takes me back. I wanted to mention when we fought the Goblin Army, it was like me, you, and Dan. You were mining in a cave.
Yeah.
And I remember me and Dan were like, "No, Greg, the Goblin's Army is coming. You gotta come right now."
Oh yeah.
And you were like, "No, man, hold on a minute, hold on." I think you had the magic mirror, so you could just teleport back whenever.
Yeah, I did.
And like me and Dan were like, "No, you gotta come back now." They're like busting in through the doors. We gotta stop them.
Yeah, I feel like because you played the game a lot more than I did, or at least before I ever got it. And so I think you had been attacked by them before, so you knew how crazy it was. And I'm just like, hey, guys, I got to get these materials.
They were busting through the doors.
Yeah, he's like, no, now. All right, okay.
I might just for funsies throw in like I have like this clip from when we were playing because like the share feature on the PlayStation 4, I recorded that part.
Oh, really?
So I might throw this in if you're watching this on YouTube, just for fun. So here's the next song. One is from a game, and if I picked any other song, it'd be super easy. So I picked a more obscure song.
Okay, I think I already think I know what it is, but I'm gonna let it play for a little bit.
All right, what you thinking?
I'm thinking Zelda.
No, it's not Zelda.
Okay, well, let me listen to it. I don't know many other games that have this, like, style. But obviously I've played it. You said I've played all these? Or you think I have?
I would... To give you a hint, this song plays in a DLC portion of a game that you played, and I'm fairly certain you played the DLC. And this song is actually from an older... Like, this game has, like, a couple things in the franchise, and this song they brought back from an older game and like made it sound better to sound more like it belongs in this game. But they use this song because the DLC portion is you go to an area that's from the older game, if that makes any sense.
It does, but I still don't think I know it.
Well, any wild guesses?
No, because like as you were giving that description, I wanted to say Minecraft, but then you kept talking about DLC, and I'm like, I really have no idea.
This is like a This is from a DLC that's like a super big DLC, where it's like a small game. You know what I mean? Like one of those types of DLCs.
Still don't know it.
So this is from Skyrim. It's from the Dragonborn DLC.
I don't think well, I mean, there's so much music that plays in Skyrim. I don't know if I'd be able to identify it anyway, but I never played that DLC for it.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
I thought you might have, because like I saw that you on your PlayStation you played the special edition.
Yeah, I game shared that with Cameron, but I started like a new game. And I did mess around a little bit as a vampire, which I think which DLC is that a part of? Is that part of the Dragonborn?
That's Dawnguard.
Oh, okay, so yeah, I basically messed around with that a little bit, and then I think another game came out that I was more excited for, so I stopped playing.
Alright, so here comes song number 3.
This is Mega Man. Right.
I thought I was playing a different song, but this is Mega Man.
Okay, I mean,
Do
I was
you know
about
which
to feel...
Mega Man? I feel like this song is the most iconic Mega Man song.
Okay, let the beat drop. If that's a thing.
There kind of is a beat drop.
I feel like, if it's an intro, if it's like the menu song, yeah, they usually get really intense. I don't know.
This is the menu music for one of them.
Is it for 2? Okay, I feel like only reason I said 2 is because I feel like 2 is one of the most iconic ones. Everyone talks about 2.
I feel like I don't know how as the gameplay is concerned because I haven't beaten 1 yet, so I haven't moved on to 2. I got stuck on like the Yellow Devil and
I think
just
2
super
is even
obnoxious.
harder than 1 because I remember watching. Do you ever see an Angry Video Game Nerd?
Yes.
He was talking about a game and he basically the game was extremely hard and he compared it to Mega Man 2, but you can only take 1 hit.
Oh.
And people, so it's like that would never happen.
Because like
I'm sure it's happened.
Mega Man,
actually,
I haven't
probably,
played Mega Man 2 yet, but like that theme song is so dope. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to song number 4 here.
Okay.
The song isn't super iconic.
Okay.
This
Not
one's a
ringing
little bit
any
harder.
bells so far.
What if I tell you that you probably played this game recently?
Did I play it recently?
I'm pretty sure you did.
Did I play it today?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Based on what you told me earlier, you only played 1 game earlier today, so...
I don't know, dude. I honestly don't know.
So this is from the Milk Bar in Majora's Mask.
Oh, yeah, because... Okay. Yeah,
'Cause
I borrowed it from you.
I lent you my copy,
Yeah.
so I figure you've probably been playing it a little bit.
I've been... Yeah, keyword a little bit. I haven't played it enough to
I was like...
get any songs
I
stuck
was
in my
like
head.
thinking of Majora's Mask songs. I was like, I feel like most of these are super iconic, so I gotta go for a less iconic one. So I was like, yeah, probably the Milk Bar.
Dang. I can't
Alright.
believe I used my Zelda guess earlier.
I mean, you could have guessed.
No,
Zelda
I
again
know.
if you want. All right, this one, I feel like I love this song, and I know you played this game, so I feel like you'll probably. This one should be easy, I think.
I think I've gotten every other one. Oh, I know. Oh, yeah, this is Rayman.
Do you know where it's from? Because
Okay. Shit.
I love this whole area
Dude,
of
I
the
feel
game
like
just
I do
because of
know.
this song. Like the level itself is like okay, but like this
Is
song
it like underwater or something?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it sounds like some underwater shit.
is like I just love that.
Is this
whole
from Legends or because that's the one I played the most?
This is from Origins, but you
Or
could
maybe
also
that's what I meant.
you could also play this one in Legends as well because
Okay.
Legends has this thing where you can go back to the Origins levels.
Okay.
But I really like the music on this level. It's dope.
Yeah.
All right, well that's all the songs we got here, and with the remaining time in the podcast, I thought starting with this podcast and probably every other podcast. We'd play a little bit of Super Fight, which is this card game, and basically it's like you draw 3 cards, like 3 white cards and 3 black cards, and the white cards are characters, the black cards are attributes, and not every attribute is a good attribute. So basically the game works is you pick up 3 of like each card, you pick a character, you pick an attribute, and then you pick from the top of the pile 1 extra attribute, and that could be a good or bad thing. And then from there on, so basically I build a fighter, Greg builds a fighter, and then we argue as to why our fighter would kick the other fighter's ass.
Mm-hmm.
So the way this is going to work is usually it's like 2 people arguing, and the third person judges. So it's just the 2 of us. So basically me and Greg are going to give our case as to why our fighter would win.
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys as the audience members can comment in the YouTube section or the SoundCloud section and let us know who you think won the battle. I think we'll probably do like 3 here.
Okay.
And then I'll probably address it in like the next podcast or whenever, or I'll just address it in the comment section. But here we go. So
Can I vote for myself later?
what?
Can I vote for myself later?
I mean, if you want.
No, I won't do that.
All right. So
Or maybe
there
I
are your
will.
3 white cards, sir. You guys can hear the cards. All right. So basically, I added in the nerdy expansion, which is like video games and like just nerdy
Is
stuff
that the
in general.
orange one?
Yes.
Okay.
Just to make this, fit more of the video game theme of the podcast. So I got my character here.
You just pick one character, right?
One character and one attribute. Just to make it fun, we won't read the random attribute until we're announcing our fighter.
So I pick one off the top?
Yep, one random black. Alright, so you ready?
Okay, for a second I didn't understand what that was, but it's because it's in like an intense. Okay, yep.
Alright, so I'm going to be Kirby. I'm armed with a mirror shield, and my random attribute is super effective.
Oh, okay. Well, seems like a little bit of a trump card there. Well, I am a T-Rex.
Okay.
Okay. I am armed with a flamethrower.
Okay.
And I'm also armed with Mjolnir, which
Who?
is Mjolnir. I'm pretty sure I'm saying it right. Mjolnir. It's Thor's hammer.
Oh.
Yeah, it's spelled Mjolnir, and I'm like, what is that? But then I'm pretty sure it's Mjolnir.
Okay. Well, I think we have a clear winner here. I mean, Kirby, you know, he can just eat you, absorb your powers, get all that mirror shield or whatever. I got like the mirror shield, which I'm pretty sure that's the one from Zelda that like reflects light.
Okay.
And I could probably blind you with it.
Probably.
And I'm super effective, so.
I know, that one's so hard to argue with. Well, you know, the T-Rex doesn't, his one weakness being his arms. Just imagine that's where the flamethrowers are strapped to. And yeah, I think I would just probably wield Mjolnir with, let's say my tail. Yeah, for sure. You know, so like, you know, like, or like spins it around and can fly around.
Oh, that is quite the image of the T-Rex just swinging that around.
Dude, like their tail's deadly enough already, right? But now there's a hammer in it. And armed with flamethrowers.
I mean, I guess it really depends on if you're like, oh, when Kirby absorbs somebody, does he get his weapons? And usually that's the case. So I think if that's the case, Kirby would probably win. But you guys can.
I don't know. I mean, no one can wield Thor's hammer.
But you're not Thor either.
Okay, all right. Take that back. What I meant was I'm Thor who transformed into a T-Rex. Okay, but anyway.
All right.
Pretty
so,
deadly.
Well, you guys let us know, and we'll move on to the next round here.
Okay.
Oh, get all those. All right, so round number 2. Go. Why would that ever be useful? That's such a hard. Go with him. Do I want to be Mr. Rogers? No. So I'm not going to use this one, but I don't understand it. It's an orange card, so it's an expansion for the nerdy one, and it says is wearing a red shirt. So I don't know. Well, I guess these cards are just both stupid, so I guess I have to go with that one.
There's like I have an option to go for something that could potentially be badass or something that could be comical and badass. All right, I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to put those away. And then I get one superpower for now that I will pick this one. And all right, I like it. I kind of feel like maybe it goes with my character.
All right, so I'm Wolverine. Throwing spears. It's my weapon. This is one I picked. And I'm wearing cement shoes. Ooh.
Dang, that cement shoe one kind of directly counters me. Let's see.
It counters me. I'm not going to be able to move.
Well, but at least you're throwing spears, so you don't really have to move.
That's true.
Why am I arguing for you? Okay, so I'm a hipster.
Okay.
And I can blow 200 mile per hour winds.
Is that the one you picked?
That's the one I picked, yeah.
Okay.
And then I also throw burritos. So we both have some long range combat here.
I can't really move much, but I think it's also very fair to say that Wolverine has that power where he heals super quickly.
Power, yeah.
And I mean, what are you gonna do? Blow me? I got the cement shoot.
You, all right.
So I'm not going anywhere.
True.
But then again, to be fair, well, I'm not saying that. I'm not going to argue against I'm not going to argue against myself.
I feel like the only argument I have is that I could just throw burritos at you to satisfy your tense hunger to where you just don't want to fight me anymore. Because I'm a hipster, let's face it.
I think
not really
like in
trying
the
to fight.
longevity of this, I mean, I got the super fast healing, so any damage that you deal to me, I'm gonna heal super quick, and you're not really doing any
This is
major
almost,
damage.
maybe it's a standoff, you know, a rock and I could basically, you know, blow away the spears with my 200 mile
Yeah, that's
per
what I
hour
was
winds.
that's what I was gonna say, but I was like,
And
I'm not
okay,
gonna.
So I have burritos, right, that I can throw, but I could also eat them myself. So if we're just in a standoff, you kind of need to eat. But I'm good. I got burritos.
Sure, that's true. Well,
Doing one more?
yeah, one more, and then we'll close it up. So.
Oh, okay. These are my. Oh, okay, cool. All right.
So this is the last one. Oh, I'm gonna go with that. Also, if you get a card that says pick somebody, try not to pick somebody that's like super OP. Because I got a card that said pick a video game character, but
Okay. Well,
I picked a different card.
I'm gonna do the same thing where I'm gonna pick a different card, but it's just to let you know, I also got to pick a card, and I don't think there's really any way I can make it OP because it says pick an internet cat. So I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
Instead, I'm gonna pick.
Why would I want a 6 foot
This?
long neck? That's the real question. Not gonna pick that.
Oh man, that's a classic one.
Okay, I'm not entirely sure about what exactly that card entails, but I'm pretty powerful and beefy.
Okay, I'm gonna pick that. Okay, now you get my rando card. Okay.
You want to introduce yourself first, since I did
Okay.
my intros.
All right. So I'm gonna introduce myself, and I'm also gonna. Well, I'll just do that after. Okay. I was gonna give some reason why, but
Okay.
I have a rodent of unusual size.
All right.
Okay. My thing that I'm armed with is a phaser. So I think it's just like a laser gun.
Okay.
And also I'm wearing a flaming tutu.
Wait, why do you have the hamster?
No, I picked. That's the person I am.
Oh, wait, why didn't you? I thought you said you were you.
No.
Okay, so I'm Neo from the Matrix.
Oh shit.
I'm armed with a Phoenix Feather Wand, which I'm pretty sure is the most powerful type of wand in Harry Potter.
Okay.
And I control weather.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, real quick, the reason I picked the rodent of unusual size was because the first thing I thought of when I read that card was the rats from Dark Souls. And fuck those things,
I was
dude, because
thinking
they
of
poison you.
I was thinking of the Kia commercial rodents.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's still a rodent technically. Nah, I'm the Dark Souls rat, and
Okay.
just since I'm the Dark Souls rat, I can inflict poison. Okay, we're just gonna go with that because I'm the Dark Souls rat. But the real things I'm armed with is a phaser and a flaming tutu. Now, your things compared to mine are pretty intense. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, you shoot that laser gun at me. You've seen the Matrix.
Oh, I've
you know
seen the
he's gonna
Matrix.
dodge that shit hardcore. I got this wand, and it's super powerful. So I'm gonna be like Expecto Patronum, you know the one, your ass. And then I can control weather, so I can just make things real unideal for you.
You know, you've seen those rats though in Dark Souls. They're in some pretty nasty environments already. And you know when you see one, there's more.
But if I control weather, don't you think I could like strike you with lightning?
I mean, maybe.
I would figure that you probably could.
You know,
And then you could bring in like a tornado, but then you're controlling it, so you pick where it goes, you know?
these rodents have seen some shit, dude. You think they haven't seen some couple lightning strikes in the face?
Have you seen what Neo's seen?
Okay,
you seen
okay.
the Matrix?
Okay, all right. You don't gotta rub it in.
All I'm saying
I really don't know how
is
this flaming
Neo
tutu helps me.
Neo versus a rodent. I think Neo's gonna win.
Flaming tutu.
All right, guys. Well, that is a podcast. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll have to have you on some other time, Greg. It was fun.
Loved it very much. First time on a podcast. If this was a video podcast, you'd see how big my smile is. It's very big.
All right, well, we'll have you on another time for sure, probably in the future. I'm trying to get like one of all my good friends on first, and then get everybody on once, and then cycle through people like second time. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and be sure to check out whatever videos I have going on my channel. I got Time Splitters 1 going on. And there's probably going to be a recent games pick up real soon. I don't know if that's going to come out before or after this video, but if it's before this video, then check that out if you haven't seen it. And if it's after, look forward to it. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.